Uh, oh, I should probably move this bad boy off the screen. Finish up this last round of Momer here. Is this actually working? Am I actually live? Are things occurring? Oh yeah, things are happening.
Alright,
I should probably
Do I look too nerdy with the
probably
glasses?
turn the sound on.
Too nerdy or...
You look ridiculous in those glasses, just so you know.
Ridiculous. Would you say that he looks redonkulous? Like,
I would not say that, no.
okay. You think that would be taking it one step too far?
I'm just not a mean person.
I'll stay sexy for you guys. I'll stay sexy.
Thanks.
Let me know if the shirt needs to come off.
Alright, that's fair. Is this guy dead? Can I kill him?
Oh, a little more alcohol, get this story going, huh?
Blocks
I don't know
here.
what you're talking about.
God, I am
This
so
is-
certain that he's dead if I attack with everything. I'm actually not doing the math. Just actually
Or
don't
that
give a
root
single
beer.
fuck. These cards are coming at your
It's
face.
a root beer.
God,
You
I
got
hope
it.
I didn't
You
just kill
understand,
myself.
Cedric.
Oh yeah, I can't. My webcam isn't on XSplit right now because I need it for Skype. So it's currently off the screen, but once this stupid moment finishes... Okay, this guy tramples. You cannot block like that. That's
Oh
not...
man, are we all like... Are our noises on
Yeah,
the stream right now?
that's
Can they
correct.
hear me?
They can hear the noise, but they cannot see anything but the
Oh my
screen.
gosh. I feel so embarrassed. I
I
shouldn't
feel
have
like
said those
such a
things.
man right now for resolving this Titan. You guys have no idea.
The manliest Titan?
He has 4 cards and 3 mana up, and I'm just like, F you, cast it. Not waiting.
Got him!
He hasn't played 1 leap or dissipate. I'm just right in his face. God, I'm good. How do I ever lose?
What's your record in this daily? Are you XO? X1?
1-1.
What? Absolutely.
Never lose.
How do I ever lose with plays like that?
Don't know.
4 cards, 3 mana, 2 of them blue. Don't care. Titan.
I have the soul read. I looked
He just
into his...
conceded. He just conceded.
This is how the pros play Magic, boys and girls.
You'd be missing so much of Cedric without his webcam on.
I don't...
People watching this
Yeah.
so much.
I don't have the thing pulled up right now, so I can't actually see him. I can only imagine he was like waving his arms above his head like a grunt in Halo.
No, I actually
You're
stood
doing high
up
kicks. Those
I
kicks are
actually stood
high.
up and threw 2 kicks. You guys missed them.
Oh, okay.
I did not miss them, Cedric.
I threw
I'm
like
not
2
a-
super kicks.
High.
I have a
Oh, that's
Whipgrass
good.
Entangler. This is the card that will DQ Kai Bud from the PT, I believe.
Yeah, that is true.
What card will do what?
Whipgrass Entangler. The card that does not have Morph. That is its defining feature.
Oh. Oh, hello.
Oh, hi.
Let's see if you're
So-
streaming yet. Let's see if you're live.
So Jarvis is definitely looking to the right. And that really sort of sets a precedent for the rest of our webcams, I feel. I feel like we should all, like, sort of endeavor.
How about now?
Well, now you're looking forward, but...
Now you're looking forward. But I prefer to look to the right.
Yeah, I like you way more on the right, Jarvis. You're
I'm actually looking to the left.
I look to the left. I can see the front of my hat that way.
It's a Cleveland Indian.
Ooh.
Correct.
I have an old Cleveland Indians hat.
Yellow and black Cleveland Indians hat. That's right.
But I like to use this ability. Hot damn, Shattered Angel doing work.
What does Shattered Angel do?
When
Yeah.
a land comes into play, you
Yeah.
gain it.
Yeah, whenever they put a land into play. It has like reverse that Zendikar mechanic, landfall.
Landfall.
Sure. Sounds terrible.
Whoa!
I'm going to come back to the screen now.
Oh, man. That's going to freak me out.
Hello.
It's like I'm gonna be watching myself 10 seconds ago on your stream.
Yeah, it is actually a stream of a time warp. That's what's occurring.
I don't know how I feel about me 10 seconds ago. Like, I'm okay with present me, like, on a good day, but on a bad day, I don't even like myself, like, in the moment. And I have to deal with 10 seconds.
That's every day for me. Just every day is exactly the same.
Who's this guy talking? Okay. Wow, we're up to 34 viewers already. Hooray!
Well, I did like the tweets and stuff. I did tell people, oh, look, a Sarah avatar. That is exceptionally large.
How big is large?
It is a 2424.
That's
I
okay.
got
What are we at?
6
50?
viewers on your stream once.
Wait, how is this? Oh, we're at 27. Oh, a kill mouth. Card seems alright.
Adam, you keep on switching to my photo when I'm doing the most embarrassing things.
What were you doing? I wasn't paying attention.
Have you ever gotten any donations?
Anything except me.
Yes, I have, actually.
Wow.
Not like a ton, but greater than 0. I'm currently saving them up for a get a second monitor where I can read chat again fund. That's where they're going to right now.
I'm impressed, actually.
Yeah, no, people have actually been really nice. Like, totally aside from the donations thing, like, I was expecting, given that I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, I was expecting that, like, the people who watch my stream would be Magic players. And they would say Magic player things, like, you are the worst player I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I have seen dogs that poop better play than you, and, like, things like that.
You're thinking of me, Adam. You're thinking of me.
Yeah. But, like, people haven't really, like, there have been occasionally people who say stuff like that, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure. But mostly
if you want, we can fix that.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you guys have the power. All right, we did it. We won.
Must be nice to run so good.
You won already?
All right. So we do this, I think. Well, bam. Let's did it.
Maybe I'll turn on my stream so they can hear you.
Okay. So let us begin the game stating in at least
just did it.
some semi-official fashion.
Wow, look at this! You can put it in boxes!
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy, right?
In a box. Oh my god, I'm in a different box.
Yeah.
Man.
You're in a...
you're
crazy.
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit, like, encroaching on my Twitter.
Yeah, sorry. There are definitely still improvements to be made, but I think this is an improvement over, like, absolutely nothing. So at this juncture, I feel like we should introduce everyone. Like, clockwise from the top left, there is myself. I am Adam Ragsdale. I run the stream, which we happen to be on at this point. You can find the Twitters below the pictures, obviously. I am a winner as you. And then we have, to my right, we have Steven. Steven, you wanna say hi to the people?
Hi, people. I'm Steven.
Yeah, he's Steven. His Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at 931243732, where I sell non-alcoholic root beer.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Below him, we have the powerful wizard Cedric Phillips. Cedric, you want to say hello to the people?
I'm a former pro wizard. Hey, those days are over. But hello, everyone. Nice to be here.
And last, but certainly not least, in all of our hearts, is Jarvis Yu in the bottom left-hand corner. Jarvis, you wanna say hello?
Hi. I'm waving my hand high.
Yeah. All right. So we did it.
Jarvis.
So we've got not very much actually happened this past week in actual Magic the Gathering terms, but the one sort of relevant thing that did happen was the Avacyn Restored pre-release, which we, as dutiful people who produce a Magic the Gathering podcast, 75% of us did not attend, but one of us did! And of all of us, Jarvis is the only person who actually went to the pre-release, probably because he is the only person who's qualified for the Pro Tour. So why don't you tell us all of the wisdom about Avacyn Restored, Jarvis?
Please do.
A lot of cards suck. That's. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. If you just look at like half the cards in this set, They're just all terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did a set review. Well, a set review when I had Ian and P Sam's on my screen. Basically, it amounted to us like screaming about Thatcher's Revolt for like 3 or 4 hours. But did you see any Thatcher's Revolts, by the way, at the pre-release?
I did not see a single person cast them, but it's probably a mistake to have in your deck.
I don't know what that is. I can't.
What
No.
was your opinion on Thatcher Revolt? What were you guys? Are you guys for or against it?
I mean, it seems like a terrible Magic the Gathering card, but Ian was really, really excited about bringing up every single card which could make Thatcher's Revolt better in every way. He was like
Well, that's
like,
the timely reinforcements, which is worse.
yeah, it's the timely that doesn't gain life, and then the creatures go away at end of turn, because that's what you get for playing red instead of white. Like, that seems reasonable, right?
It's sort of amazing. Red is just white, but they made all the cards half as good. Like, that's the color pie now.
Well, I mean, that's what it got for the first, like, 7 years of Magic, right? For white, like, having no actual Magic cards except Armageddon. Is that accurate?
I would not say that's it.
No? No, Sal?
Wrath of God,
Well, I mean,
Wrath of God, Swords of Plowshares.
I don't know. I think white was pretty terrible for a long time.
Sarah Angel. Ever heard
Sarah
of it?
Angel.
Baby.
I have heard of it.
That's mighty. That is a mighty card. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've heard that Avacyn Restored Limited was, removal light and slow and kind of grindy. But that's, again, just what I've heard. I will probably not be playing with the cards until they're released online. 19th, I think? Maybe that's too early. Sometime in late May.
Did you hear, Adam, that they are going to start doing the online pre-release only a week after the paper re-release? Paper pre-release? Wow, there's a lot of like P's and R's in there. Starting this fall, there's only going to be a week lag time, so you can actually play with the set online before the Pro Tour and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty exciting.
That's a true story.
Are they going to have anything after the pre-release? Because I know that pre-releases are actually as terrible online as they are in person.
Yeah, it's going to be like 1 week after the paper pre-release, you do the online pre-release, and then a week after that, you do the release event. So
Okay.
It's the same thing as they're doing right now.
They're
but
just
it's like
they're just
a week
eliminating
lag
the
instead of a lag.
they're eliminating the like month where Moto becomes useless.
Yes.
That seems good.
Precisely, yeah.
I'm on board with that plan.
I think it's hard to not like that plan.
Well, I don't know, like, isn't the reason that this originally existed that they were convinced that, like, real-life players would get mad if you did something to Moto? Because the idea that, like, real-life players actually were Moto players just hadn't occurred to them or something. Like, I don't know why it originally existed. It's sort
I
of...
think the reason it originally existed was they couldn't program Moto. It took them a month to do it, and they worked out how to do it in a week by learning how to program Moto. I think that's what's going on.
I mean, the reason it exists is because you don't want to have a simultaneous online and real-life release, because more people will actually just go to the online releases because they don't have to leave the comfort of their own home. So it destroys, like, the income that the stores can make. So that's why they were having the actual downtime on that. It's actually very bad for them, like, financially, for, like, the stores and just for their company to have it online and IRL at the same time.
Right. I mean, I'm not arguing they should be at the same time, but I'm saying, like, if they aren't at the same time, doesn't it then not really matter how long the time is?
I suppose.
Yes.
I mean, the sooner the
That's
better.
what they-
But
Right. Okay, that seems fair.
So, Avacyn restored, all the cards suck. Does that mean that for PT Barcelona, it's just going to be like Innistrad block right now? There's another set that you could play, but you don't?
I was thinking
there-
more towards the limited cards, really. I feel like a lot of them, like, there's a huge differential between the good cards and the bad cards, and there's a lot of
Okay.
bad cards.
I mean,
Like,
there's a lot of good cards in this format for block constructed, though. Like, a lot.
yeah. For block
So
constructed, there's a lot of good cards.
So there's a lot of constructive potential, but when you're playing
Yeah.
limited, you see the like 85% is just chaff.
Yeah. I kind of have a bone to pick about Soul Bond because it's very easy for your opponents to forget, like, which creature is bonded with which, especially if you have like 5 of them out.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
It's just like kind of a logistical nightmare.
So what is the de facto solution for that? Like I know on like Meddling Mage.
You kind of just put them on top of each other if you really want to be clear. But the thing is, there's nothing that actually makes you do that. If you know what I mean. Like, people don't have to do that. But it's good to just do that to keep the board state clear.
So
I mean, it's like both players. It's like both players' responsibility, right? Like,
right. But the thing is,
it really shouldn't be that big of an issue.
So potentially you could be playing at the Pro Tour and you could have like your lands here on the right side of the table, your library right in the middle, your creatures half above the library, half below, and like this one soul bonded to this one, and that would be okay. Like,
I think a judge would tell you to be more reasonable probably if you did that.
that's just barely crossing the line.
what?
I think
What is happening?
that's quite a bit over the line.
Don't you just like write it on a piece of paper and put it like either on top of the card or in the sleeve if you're having trouble remembering? Like that's what people did with Meddling Mage, and it seems like this would be much the same.
Adam, you're a genius.
Like you just write like loves Bob or whatever, or like whatever card it is that it loves, and then you just.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it'd be that difficult. And like, I guess I could see a situation where like some dude like makes an attack and then like guy blocks with soul bounded and he's like, oh, I didn't know that one was soul bounded to that guy, and it's like, well, that's because you're stupid. You didn't ask.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. We're getting that little tiny edge back we lost when we had like 19 steps during combat, and now we don't. So we'll just make the whole board tie itself up, and the game can be all about remembering your optional triggers again.
God, that would be a
You
dream
could
come true.
You could start playing with the creatures face down, like in the like memory game, and you get to turn one out once a turn to see which it is.
Well, I mean, let's not.
Skill that you can
We're not
imagine
gonna go back all the way to Onslaught, but like,
that.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess it's a little bit logistically frustrating. I don't know. Like, people apparently complained about like the graft block. That was Ravnica, I think. They were like, there are too many tokens here, and I never like ever had a problem with that or anything like that. So I think people just like to complain about stuff, like no matter what they do. So
Really? People like to complain? Are you serious?
yes, for reals. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's a little disappointing to me that I haven't heard anyone with like a super sweet verdict. Like, I don't even really care if it's the reality, but like when I asked people about M12, like limited and or sealed, they were like, it is so fast you will go backwards in time trying to play it. And I don't think that's actually true, but it makes for a sweet story, you know? And the only people I've talked to about Avacyn Restored Limited have said things like, the cards seem bad and slow. So, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how true that is, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, I don't put much stock in like initial impressions from a pre-release, where like you're not even playing against like good people really, and you're only gonna be able to find out like if like 10 cards are good or something. You haven't even begun to delve into the format, so.
Yeah, my experience with pre-releases was I got paired against someone with 2 Molokus, and I arrested one of them.
Did he play the second?
It was a different one, right? I don't know, but I beat him, and I was like, Moloku? It seems like a pretty shitty card.
Well, he's back.
Only 2 power?
He's back to be a planeswalker. He's back to tap your shit.
Is that Moloku?
No, I don't think. I don't think it's actually Moloku. But it's
Neo, cards in English, Jesus.
Well, people historically have had a great deal of trouble with Moloku's gender, so I feel somewhat vindicated in just sort of throwing Moloku everywhere.
Please do not start the gender conversation.
Well, it says right on the card, like it's just...
Or the artwork conversation, or any of it, please.
We could have the gender artwork conversation. That's a good point, Cedric. We should do that.
Yeah.
It's not
You ever seen someone kill himself on camera?
Is that a question you truly want the answer to? Okay, so I think we firmly established that only one of us played the pre-release. You said you like murdered 1 million people. Is that accurate? It was actually all the
Million?
murdering.
I murdered 3 people, and then I got murdered by 1 person.
Oh, so it was just like you played one flight or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little disappointing.
Your murder rate's pretty good then. 3-1.
Yeah, I mean 75% murder rate.
I feel like any murder rate that is not 2-0 is an undesirable murder rate. Like,
So the thing about this set that I learned from Timmy Ayton is that every white rare is a first pick, except for maybe Avacyn, Angel of Hope.
that makes
Like
sense.
costs 8
But that actual every other single white rare is a first pick.
every single one.
Every single one. Want to do roll call?
No,
Yes.
no. Well,
No, I want to.
all right.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Angel of Glory's Rise.
Is that the 3/4 that flickers?
That's close. It's the 7-mana 4/6 kills all zombies.
Is that
Turns
good?
off-
Like, is the kills all zombies things good? Because when that's good, like, you are gonna get them real good.
Or the Return All Humans part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably too good then. Like, to pass.
That's good.
All right, Angel of Jubilation, 4-mana 3/3. Other non-black creatures get +1/+1, flying.
Sure. That's the anthem thing?
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
going down the Carthur's Crusade, 5 mana. This card's retarded. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Yeah, that's the one where you just win the game if you don't die casting it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Divine Deflection, like a Shining Shoal, basically.
Yeah. Captain's Maneuver, sure.
Entreat the Angels.
That's the Decree of Justice one?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Herald of War, 5 mana 3/3, flying. Whenever it attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Angel spells and human spells
Okay,
cost
sure.
1 less.
Air Elemental, you got me.
Yep. Okay. Wait for it. Restoration Angel. Yeah. Okay.
Is that the Flicker one? Are we at the Flicker
Yes.
one yet? Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
That's a good one.
Riders of Gavany. This one might be suspect. 4 mana 3/3 Vigilance. Enters the battlefield. Choose a creature type. Human creatures you control have pro from that creature type, and it is a human.
I feel like there are cards you can pick one, pack one over that, but I mean, it's pretty alright, though.
You could do it somehow if there was a different foil rare or something. I mean, it's just going to name zombie all the time and just blank someone's deck, right?
I don't
I mean,
think
it can
there's
name
that many
human.
zombies.
Or devil. Like, I don't know all the creature types, but I've heard that card's really good.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely
Seems
good.
Very, very good. Yeah.
Next one is Silverblade Paladin, Double Strike Soulbond.
Right?
I'm pretty sure you're not passing that ever, but could be wrong.
Well, it seems like that's a card where either it's going to work and you're going to instantly win the game, or it's not and it's going to die to shock or something. You're going to be like, you had it. Like,
And then there's Terminus, which I'm obviously not
sure.
passing. And then the only other one is Avacyn Angel of Hope, which is 8 mana. Yeah, obviously it's the giant idiot. If the format's slow, it's good. If not, then it's bad.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You've sold me. You should take white rares.
So I feel like if all the white cards are insane, then like white might be overdrafted into PT. Directing this comment towards Jarvis, since you're going to be going in 2 weeks or whatever.
Yep.
So like I know
Sort of an
like
interesting spot.
if you like look at the cards, like it's very easy to draft blue-white flyers, and it seems like it's far and away the best deck.
Yep.
So I like if like you can open all these insane white rares and people are going to be putting a white, you might want to try to find a different strategy, I suppose. But I obviously haven't played a game, so I don't know if that's true or false.
Seems reasonable. Which do you think will be more unexplored at Barcelona? Do you think people will have less idea about how to draft it or how to play block constructed?
Pretty sure draft.
I think draft too.
Yeah.
Steven, you have a guess?
Oh, am I meant to think? I'll go with draft, yeah.
I just don't think people have the amount of time to get drafts in for this particular tournament. Whereas, like, I think that Constructed is going to change a decent amount, but probably not that much. So I feel like, I mean, Constructed doesn't really seem that hard either, to be fair, for this particular tournament. But the draft format is just, like, completely brand new, unexplored. There isn't, like, there's not, like, a third set coming into an already set format. It's just brand new. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's move on. The next thing I have is the MOCS, which happened this past week, which I think 3 of 4 of us were technically in, and like 0 of 4 of us were in after round 5 or something like that. But the MOCS was this past something Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, like 7 p.m. Pacific. Is that that correct?
That's accurate.
And it was in fact M12 sealed. There were about 700 people. I would say an MOCS is basically like a Magic Online GP. You think that comparison is reasonable?
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Definitely, yeah.
Right. So there was one of those, and a bunch of people were competing in M12 sealed because, well, I don't know why, but it was M12 sealed, and we opened some decks. Mine was bad. Ted said his was good, and then he died anyway. I didn't even know. I tried to talk to Jarvis. He just wouldn't tell me anything, and then he died.
Bing's deck was the worst. I looked at Bing's pool, and I seriously thought to myself, probably the best build is blue-based mill. And like when you look at a sealed pool and think that's not a good sign.
Really? Because
not a good sign at all.
Like straight up, what I thought when I looked at Bing's pool was, God, I wish I'd opened this pool. Like that's actually what I thought.
Your pool is a lot better. Lots better.
Okay. I mean, sure. I claim no expertise in that format at all. It was sort of interesting for me because as someone who like basically studiously avoided M12 at all opportunities, like I had a bunch of opportunities. I think Canadian Nationals was M12 when I was qualified and then just didn't go. But like I could have played M12 and I never did, and I got to this format where I had heard a bunch of stuff. People were saying things like blue is unplayable because the games are over before you play your 5th land, and it actually just played like a lot like other core set sealeds that I played. Like it was a little bit faster, don't get me wrong, but the cards were all basically like, we played Magic and then like Magic games happened and the cards were pretty much the same and then the games ended much the same way. So I don't know, like do you guys feel that that's roughly how M12 is?
Yeah.
Steven?
Don't elaborate.
I think, like, when you're saying that it's faster, that's sort of true. Like, there are lots and lots of creatures in M12 which cost 2 and are all sort of the same, and you can play them on turn 2 and then they attack. So that looks sort of fast, but all the decks have them, so they all just, like, run into each other and die, and then you're still just playing M12 sealed, and someone, like, casted Jace and the game's over. It's my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like the format's a little bit faster than some formats, but like nowhere near as fast as like Zendikar block or anything like that. It's pretty quick. Like there are pools like the one that I opened that lend themselves to being really quick. If you have like a bunch of Tormented Souls and Goblin War Paints and Bloodder Skies, then then you can build an aggro deck. But I still think you would much rather open Titans and that sort of thing and be like more of a defensive deck,
that was
or maybe
exactly
just like
how I felt.
more of just like a slower deck instead of having to play a bunch of crappy 1/1s to get in for damage, because that feels like more of a draft deck than a sealed deck. So I think it's a little bit faster, but not like crazy out of control fast like Zendikar block was, where you just kill people on turn 5 or turn 6, and cards like Heartstabber Mosquito were unplayable because the format was too fast. So
yeah, I think that maybe it's like it seems fast due more to lack of a slow strategy than due to like a fast strategy being good, because there's so little card advantage in the format, there's so little card selection that a lot of the higher end cards just don't really have a place to shine at all.
Did anything fascinating happen in the MOCS besides all of us dying, which isn't really fascinating, I don't think. Like I died.
In the top 8 draft, someone first picked Kraken's Eye. Whenever a player casts a blue spell, you may gain 1 life.
Sure.
Best artifact.
I mean, it was definitely the top 8 of a sealed event, and people definitely top 8 sealed events, based on their sealed pool, first and foremost.
Right.
That's very impressive at that. Did that guy go on to win the tournament?
I will say that one thing I know happened was that in game 1, the guy who won the tournament cast Fling and sacrificed a Death Touch creature to throw it at something it would not kill, and then complained in the text box about how the game was trying to get him, and then he just won the next 2. So
I was actually going to say that, bring that up. The guy's very mad about it, and then the opponent said, read Fling.
Yeah.
And then the guy conceded 2 turns later.
Right.
And then won the tournament anyway.
It just says on the card, Fling deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power. You know, that's the thing where you would cast the card, and then they'd be like, read the card. You'd pick it up, and you'd be like, oh, I'm dumb. Okay. All right. You may go.
Can you imagine just being on both sides of that? For the guy who cast the Fling, he's super mad that there's a glitch or whatever, and then his opponent's like, you're stupid, read your card. And then he's like, God damn it, why did I do that? I've been up for 12 hours playing this dumb tournament, and I just do that?
12 seal.
And then he wins, and then the other guy, who has the guy throw away his Death Touch guy, doesn't have his guy get killed, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna win, what a moron, threw his card away, threw his game away, and then he loses the tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
the extremes are so awesome.
Yeah, that's magic. We seem to have lost our Jarvis.
Jarvis is gone.
I don't know why we lost our Jarvis, but
on the other hand, you have the edge of my apartment in Jarvis's screen. That's pretty cool.
That's true. I like that.
It makes a lot of sense.
How did you do that?
Ooh, I'm a wizard.
My round's up.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think we really need to I don't think anyone in the actual universe after this tournament, no one in the actual universe cares about M12 Limited, right? There's never going to be.
Over.
Yeah. Okay. M13 is coming out fairly soon. Is that correct?
I think it comes out over the summer or back end of the summer, probably July-ish.
Okay, so in the not too distant future. So it will be back with the same kind of gross nobody wants to play it rap, but
Right. Is there a too distant future for a core set being released? I don't know.
Well, they used to not come out forever, but what are they every year now or something?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. The release date on M13 is July 13th.
Okay, that makes a weird sort of sense.
I've enjoyed drafting M12 more than I think most people. I think it's a very, very simple format, which is 2 things to it, which nobody gets, and because of that you can get a massive edge and win a lot. But it's a core set limited format, and M13 will be too. So you can look forward to that.
Good read.
Yeah.
And then the only other, I don't know what to do about Jarvis. He's gone from the internet. An actual tree fell on his house.
The internet ate him.
Yeah.
He was too handsome. He was swarmed by ladies.
He was, in fact, the dude in that Axe commercial that attracts them like magnets. So yeah.
I don't know how that works, man. Jarvis is handsome.
The other thing that occurred, I believe, was there was, in fact, a Moto PTQ, which happened, it was actually on simultaneously with the MOCS, I think. The length...
It was the next day, wasn't it?
Well, it was the next day, but the length of the MOCS was sufficient that I believe they were both going at the same time at some juncture.
Gotcha.
Correct.
And I didn't actually see the whole top 8 because somehow, the event crashed and they had to make a new event.
Apocalypse.
Which only had the top 4 in it. I know that regardless, the man who Cedric several weeks ago said created the mighty Glimmer Post ramp deck was, in fact, the victor. Which seems reasonable to me. Oh, God. now everything's every which way.
Jarvis
What have you done?
ruined us.
Yeah, Jarvis has done horrible things to our face.
Bing Luke, of course, in this mode of PTQ, lost the win and in round. He was only like 17th place, so we didn't bother inviting him on here this time.
Yeah,
That's unimpressive.
he went lose, win 6 times lose or something like that. Is that correct?
I mean, it wasn't the top 8, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he told me I know he lost round 1, and he told me he lost the last round, and he won however many rounds were in between that, which I think was 6.
Yeah.
But
he did observe well again. He's very
didn't get there because he's a terrible person.
Classic Bing. Never loses ever.
But yeah, I mean, the thing I wanted to say is that I think Ramp is really good against the decks people are playing. Like, it's weird to me that Ramp is growing in popularity, but no one's going back to, like, that incredibly mopey blue-black deck that's just like, I'ma get him! Fuck your Primeval Titan! Like, because that's what people do. Like, they see that you're playing that deck, and they're like, I will get them with this deck. But no one is willing to play Knifey Spoony with this, apparently. So...
people are going that deck because like Delver is just still ridiculously popular. Excuse me, in the PTQs. So and they just can't beat it.
Well, yeah, I mean Delver's really good. I just think that Ramp is better against like red green, which Delver is actually kind of gross against.
So it's like a paper, scissors, rock format where scissors is getting thrown 30%, paper is getting thrown 70%, and like rock could beat scissors, but why would you play it in that format, obviously?
Sure. I don't know. Like, the reason I'm unhappy about this is not because I fundamentally hate people who play Ramp, it's just that it seems like the mirror is so gross. Also, it seems like you get random pair-ups, like you get paired against Cuneo or whatever sometime, and you just want to die. Like... you get paired against the decks that are playing blue cards for actual no reason, and you'd be like, why are you doing this? Like, why is Psychic fucking Remove Soul in your main deck, and then they just kill you.
I like how Cuneo's name is, like, just synonymous with an entire archetype.
With blue-white do nothing?
Yeah, blue-white does nothing ever.
Yeah,
everybody understands what you just said.
Yeah, I think he's done enough work to pioneer the field. I think that's fine. But yeah, like, I don't know. I kind of... this Jarvis thing is really screwing up this whole, like... he just won't let it... I don't know what I've done.
Just like call your mother. Get her in on the call in Jarvis's spot.
That seems like a good strategy. I wonder if she'll have any penetrating insights on the Ramp versus Delver matchup.
Probably. She's probably... oh, God damn it.
Compared to Jarvis, she may have more insight.
Yeah, do you think she'll just be like, yep? And then we'll move on to... Alright, we're going to try and get Jarvis back once more, and then if that doesn't function, then we'll...
What just happened? Whoa!
Sound right?
Yeah, there's truly wizardry afoot. Do you... I don't know, like... talking mostly to Seth here, like, do you think that Ramp is just where everyone should be? Like, should we all be finding the beast within our forest? Because that seems like a thing which happens, like, fairly reliably in the mirror, and that's just not really a thing I want to do.
Like, are you asking me, should you be playing beast with it, or are you asking me...
No.
I think you should be playing Ramp.
Yeah, should you be playing Ramp? Like, I think you should definitely, if you're ramping, there should be beasts within stuff. My question is just like, should we all be trying to cast Primeval Titan? Like, well, that's sort of how I feel about it. But that was a pretty impressive look for it.
Oh, so the reason I made that look is because I cast the Zenith for 6 to get a Titan against this Tezzeret guy, and it didn't happen. It didn't come into play. So I restarted my Moto, and it's still not in play. And then I looked at the Grafdigger's cage that's on the table.
Ah, that's unfortunate. You've been
so
caged.
That's the reason for my face. As far as if you should be Ramp or not, so I put on the rule of, like, there are some people who like to play the best deck and there are others who don't. I still believe, like, without a doubt, that Delver is the best deck. So if you just want to play the best deck, then you should definitely just play Delver and just, like, master it like Bing has, or like Shahar has, or the people who play that kind of deck. But that's not the kind of deck that I ever play, and I'll never will with that kind of deck. So if you're looking for an alternative, then by all means, I think that ramp is a really good alternative, and I think that actually I don't think that red green deck is good, and that Esper deck is okay. It's like good at beating Delver, but very bad at beating ramp. So
We're talking about
I think
like the
those are the only
Lucindo,
options of the format.
the Lucindo like list.
Yeah, like just the Lucindo deck. I think it's like pretty good at beating Delver and not good at beating anything else.
I think it's okay at like green non-ramp decks. Like I think it's good against red-green aggro and like pod
Sure.
and stuff. But yeah, no, I agree with your assessment against ramp. My next question was actually going to be like, if you were to take Lucindo's deck, what would you do to make it gargle fewer dongs against a ramp deck?
Well, the thing about Lucindo's deck is that if you jammed 4 mana leaks in the board, you'd probably beat ramp like most of the time. Because when I play against that deck, I'm just a maniac. I just cast all my spells as soon as I can. Because I know he doesn't have any counter spells. So that if someone was like, well, fine, I'll just board the mana leaks and just counter their Titans because they're going to cast them right away, they would probably win, like a good amount of the time.
Well, he has dissipates. Like he has 3 dissipates in the board. It's not like there are no counters in his 75. But yeah, like game 1 is just so bad, and then game 2 and 3, like you have a bunch of answers to Primeval Titan, but very few of them are before Primeval Titan is in play, and then you just don't have any answers to their lands.
Yeah, you don't have like that many good answers to their lands, and you don't have a good answer to Karn really.
Right.
So,
And you can't really.
I seriously think if someone like jammed 4 leaks in their board and then like boarded out those shitty dead weights and ratchet bombs for like
Right.
leaks or like more Lilianas, then we wouldn't be able to win. But
Okay, so you think there is hope like from the sideboard basically, or like for different deck
Absolutely.
configurations?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think you just lose like I think if you cut the dead weight, suddenly you're at a point where you're like, yeah, back to 43% against Delver, and like suddenly there's.
No, I'm just saying they should. I'm just saying they should board dead weights out against
Right.
ramp. That's all. They should
I mean,
still
yeah.
have them in their deck.
Like that's what I'm doing. Like I have played that deck for several days, and it still feels terrible to me. Like you board them out, but they board in cards that actually matter, and then like game 1, your deck is better against them, but their deck is also a lot better against you. That's sort of how I feel. So I feel like the games are kind of even.
The way you said that sounded like such a struggle, Adam. I've played that deck for several days.
Well, I don't know. It was really fun when my opponents were playing decks that had creatures and were trying to kill me with like grizzly bears. But when you draw a hand that's like Wrath of God, Ratchet Bomb, Deadweight, and 3 lands, and then your opponent is like, I'm playing Tezzeret. Like you just want to commit suicide. Like, and like every card in your deck just does that. Like your deck is like 40 Wrath of Gods and 20 lands. So sometimes you get paired against someone who isn't casting grizzly bears, or like is casting really big grizzly bears that come with extra lands, and those decks just kill you. So
Right.
I don't know.
Godzilla. Dude, I'm getting the business from this Tezzeret deck right now.
Yes, I have experience with that.
This is a one-sided beatdown if I've ever seen one.
How is Tezzeret still in Standard? Isn't that card from like 7 years ago? The same Japanese guy has been playing it in every deck for
Yeah,
my
Shouta.
entire lifetime, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
They're still in Standard somehow?
Yeah, it's still there. It's just still not good, but he just still
Yeah.
jams it. He loves it.
That's okay. As long as he's not trying to tell people that it's what he should be doing with their lives.
I agree.
that would-
I can't play this game anymore. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else sweet that happened. But like we covered.
Over the weekend? I played a Momer tournament over the weekend. Joan Ribs
What was
returned to
that?
Noto.
How
I
did?
3-1'd it. 3-1'd it.
Wow, I 3-1-1
Yeah.
like before we started. You got to see some of the last round, like if you turned in before I went live. I made some random creatures and attacked, but that That's thrilling. I don't know. I feel like
You literally made random creatures.
yeah. I feel like
That's what-
Moto's in kind of a gross spot right now because we're in apparently the last, but like the time where it's right about to just not matter for like a month,
Right.
and I don't really know what we're supposed to do about that. Like for me as someone who streams regularly, like every day, pretty much. I don't know what I'm supposed to do when people are like, "Yeah, I'm playing standard at my local store," and I'm like making angel tokens, and I'm like, "Well, I'm not because I'm in a time machine." So
Here's the deal, Adam. You have 218 viewers right now. If we can get, on average, 8% of those viewers entering 100 card singleton events, we can get them firing again.
we can get
Oh,
Say.
yes.
we could make a kaleidoscope event fire for the first time in the history of the universe. Like we could make
Yes.
the first kaleidoscope event.
Let's do it. Let's make Moto a thing. All of those real-life players who like secretly want to play in the sanctioned kaleidoscope events are going to see their card stores and see that there's no kaleidoscope and then look to Moto, and there will be kaleidoscope.
That might be the worst master plan I've ever heard.
If I said I hate you right now, don't take offense to that.
I would never take offense to that, Cedric.
Okay, perfect.
It's my goal.
All right.
This hand. Ooh, this hand's better. Yay.
Yeah, is there anything else sort of fascinating that we need to talk about that's been going on? Does anyone else have any fascinating ideas? Like, as I said, trying to think of other things that happened. That dude from Florida won the PTQ. I don't know who won the MOCS. Lord Nazgul? Like,
Yeah, just some dude.
yeah. Some
Just
some gentleman. Like, he really wants to throw his Greater Basilisk at your monster, and I don't know. Like, it's... Maybe he played really well, aside from that. But I went to the finals and I was like, oh, I wonder who won. Oh, it was someone who tried to do things and then complained when they didn't work. Like, so...
I mean, the guy's probably pretty good, right? Like, you can't be that bad.
No, you're gonna...
We
Like,
could bring up his draft and talk through it. That'd
I
be
mean...
fun. This would be really fun.
Was he the
Adam.
guy who first picked the Kraken's Eye? Like,
No, he was not.
okay.
I wish it was him, actually. He handicapped himself and won anyway.
Well, it's gotta be... it had to have been a timed-out pick, right? Like, it can't be like he looked at the 15 cards and determined he wanted the Eye of the Kraken. Like, he was going to assemble the whole Kraken in the draft.
It's the eye of the Kraken. It's the...
Okay.
What was that? What was that noise?
It was-
I want an
I'm trying to
explanation
find the
and I want
draft
it now.
viewer so I can see his deck.
It was an Eye of the Tiger reference, I think. Is
It was horrible.
Adam's got it. Adam's
Yeah.
got it. Well, the song was horrible. I'm only working with so much.
Oh, you know who top 8 this MOCS? Ben Weinberg.
God, I was hoping no one would bring that up. God.
You don't
Really?
like Ben Weinberg?
which one is
No,
Weinberg?
no one likes Ben Weinberg. Are you kidding?
Really? I don't know. I thought he was pretty
What do you
nice.
like about him?
I don't know. He was nice to me.
Come on. I don't hate Ben Weinberg, but if I had a preference of
Which
never talk to Ben Weinberg again or talking to him, I wouldn't talk to him.
Okay.
There.
He's a first shot.
Ooh.
He is first shot. That's correct.
And he first picked Frostbreath over Royal Assassin and Sarah Angel.
Yeah, oh
What,
my
what happened? What'd you say?
God.
He said that he
Oh
first
my
picked Frostbreath
God.
over Royal Assassin and Sarah Angel.
I looked at all 8 of the all 8 of the first picks, and 6 out of 8 of them just like...
No, so what Ben said he did, he said he right-clicked on Royal Assassin, but then Moto picked for him randomly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that format, but I would have taken Royal Assassin, like, really fast, because I've played with Royal Assassin in Core Set Limited before, so...
Yeah, Royal Assassin, it's, I mean,
Dear Ben,
combos with
I
Frostbreath.
believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a really light weekend. There's not that much to talk about. Only one of us went to the pre-re. I don't think Jarvis wants to talk about block decks because he's got to get ready for this tournament.
Well,
he's going to go 0-5 at.
I want to... Yeah, I want to talk to people about block decks,
Come on,
like, next
1-4
week.
at least. 1-4 at least.
1-4. That's
Dude,
good,
Last time I went to a pro tour, they gave me a bye. That was pretty sweet.
You gotta
They gave you a
buy?
buy at the Pro Tour?
Yeah. Well, if you lose enough, they will actually give you one.
That's so nice of them. Who says that Wizards doesn't care about their players?
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. Um,
Oh, there's a cube happening on May 2nd for an entire week.
yeah.
Talk
And they're
about
giving
that.
out TPF packs when you win. So like
Oh my
they're
God.
actually giving you fool's goals. They're just like, here you go, have fun.
This is literally gold, which is not real.
Yeah.
They're giving you fool's gold. We don't care.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I didn't play the cubes the first time because I was like, hot damn, this is some sick value they've got going on here.
Oh, that's why I played. But then I found out it was Phantom. Entire first draft goes rare drafting then.
Darn.
You deserve that.
I find that joke really funny. I'm too sarcastic sometimes.
You deserve that. No, the cube is sweet. I can't wait for it to come back.
Did you do it a bunch the first time, Sad?
Yeah, I actually just I conceded life for the 3 days that it was on. I didn't do anything but cube actually.
Well, I did.
for
Yeah.
3 days.
I mean, I did 14 over 2 days, which I don't know how many but that was just all I could fit. Like I would get up, start streaming.
That would be 7. per
Yeah,
day.
it was a 7 a day. Like I would do
Yeah.
7 drafts. That was how long I was able to remain awake for, and then I would like turn off the stream and fall over and get up and do it again the next day.
Yeah, that's all I did too. I just jammed them all day every day.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed because like I tried to sort of draft around the spectrum to show people what kind of neat and interesting things you can do in cubes because it's not like new or really novel for me as someone who has cubed a lot. But it's just like every time I was in blue, I just murdered people, and every time I wasn't in blue, I just died to their terrible like 4-color ramp decks. That was sort of my experience. Like people kept like
Terrible,
passing
Adam.
me upheaval and stuff like that, and I was like, why are you doing this? Like, why do you make me hurt you? And I don't think I had a blue deck that didn't at least make the finals because blue is good when everyone is drafting like 4-color ramp. So
Yes.
They should just draft 2-color ramp, and their deck will be better.
yeah, I mean there are ways.
Adam Ragsdale on the color pie.
Well, there are ways to beat blue in cube drafts, but no one was doing them. Like people just refused to play aggro decks. They were like, why would I do that when I could play 5-color decks? 5 colors equals 5 times as good. So yeah, I don't know.
If your aggro deck is 2 colors, only 2.5 times as good.
Right. I mean, I had a couple sort of interesting decks. I attempted to make the Mind's Desire deck, and like, I did channel the Genesis Wave. I lived that dream. So,
Oh yes.
but yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, that's the noise it made
Why-
when I channeled the Genesis Wave. I'm
Next mid game.
I'm somewhat interested in Cube coming back, but I'm not like overjoyed for it. Do you guys feel the same? Like, are you guys really happy about it?
I still want to be able to
I'll
make
do
my own
some.
cube, man. Like, that's what I thought was happening when I said cube was coming to Moto. I thought of, man, I'm gonna get to put the cards in my collection into a cube, and then my friends can draft out of them. And that's not what's happened. But that's what I want to happen. I mean, the cube is as it is. Will be, I don't know, it'll be fun, but I'm still disappointed.
Yes! It's story time. Story time. You ready?
Story time. I'm ready.
It's game 3 against Tezzeret. My opponent has a Graph Digger's Cage in play, and he just cast Gruesome Encore on my Primeval Titan.
I don't know what that card does. Is the answer
Neither do
nothing with a Graph Digger's Cage in play?
Jarvis thinks it's really funny then.
It's
It's
the one that
correct.
reanimates from your bin, right? Like something like that?
Yes.
Yep, that
Okay.
doesn't work.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
that
man.
that puts you guys even at 1-1 with Graph Digger's Cage in play, right? Like, you're not taking the lead on this. You guys are both at, like, tap 7 mana or whatever, like, do nothing, discard a card with Cage in play.
I feel so powerful right now. Why does he have Gruesome Encore in his deck? First of all.
Because he's LSV, clearly.
Oh, no, he has to
Is
Doomblade
he
for
LSD?
Nexus. No. His name is Mesmerize, and I am not mesmerized by
Yeah,
his
he's
play.
the only person who plays Tezzeret, apparently. Like, he's the dude that murdered me. Or maybe I beat him. I don't remember. He's the dude that I played against recently. And people will occasionally ask me, like, how do you feel about Mesmerize's Tezzeret deck? So he is apparently the master of the Tezzeret.
Is that true?
That's what I've heard.
All right.
I believe it's Tezzeritis, I believe, is the plural.
Okay.
Let me get him.
I feel like we should probably shut her down in terms of podcast because Joan Ribs is starting to spin around on his chair and make up words. So
I have so many more fun words to share with you.
That's
okay.
because he's been a little drinky poo. How's the root beer?
I haven't been drinking beer for like 15 minutes. I'm sober now.
Okay.
How are them root beers? Boop. My opponent just played a blood gift team, and this guy's got every card in his deck that you can imagine is in there.
I can imagine a lot of cards. You are in for a wild ride, sir.
I mean, yeah, this ride is going to get bumpy soon. He's got to have something.
Well,
We
he already has had the Blood Gift Demon. Like,
Yeah, he's had the gruesome encore. He's cast night terrors on me.
oh, you had the Night Terrors?
He had the he night terrored me. It got scary fast.
Okay.
was it at night?
Is like,
Oh, a Primeval Titan. I like this card. This card's fucking good.
does making people discard their Titans actually do anything against this deck? I feel like it just doesn't. Like, I feel like they just draw another Titan and then put it into play.
Ah, yes, you figured it out. You are a genius.
Right. Well, I mean, I've been a wizard for many years. I don't expect other people to operate on the same level. But like, there's that terrible duress like Reverse Inquisition in the new set. Like, that's not actually, people can't actually do that if your plan is to Titan them, right? Like, it won't actually.
I would not think that they could do that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure some people will try.
Well, yes, I am equally certain of that. But
Yeah, it's not good.
okay, all right, good.
They do have an appetite for brains.
Has a good name.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
I suppose it's a good name, yes. I won't fight that.
I do like delicious brains, but
Such brains.
I like all brands, really.
right.
We should take some questions from chat if we're gonna wind up.
Ooh, I like that. Let's
Sure.
take questions from the chat.
Let's questions
Yeah.
it up.
Any
We have to
questions
wait
from
10
the chat?
seconds until they
If anyone has
hear 'em
any
say
questions
that.
about the
Send out a-
WWE pay-per-view yesterday, I'm willing to answer all of them.
I have a question. I have a question about the recent Seattle Jays series. Like, how did we lose the first game like 9-4 or something? Is this a completely different Seattle team? Didn't they score like the lowest runs in the history of anything like last year?
Now, Seattle still sucks, but they're on a heater right now because they like swept the Tigers, and then they came in and they beat the Jays, and then you guys won like the next 2 or 3 games. So that's the problem.
Hooray! Oh, I don't know. It was weird to me that I saw like a 9 next to the word Seattle or the name Seattle.
Everyone gets lucky once, right?
Yeah.
Did you like Extreme Rules, Cedric?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
It was fantastic, actually. It's one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a really long time. The Brock Cena match was sweet. The Daniel Bryan Sheamus match was sweet, and the Jericho CM Punk match was really good. So I was very pro that pay-per-view.
I'm glad we actually got an answer to that question. That's exactly what I was looking for.
So there you go. There's an answer for you. I'm going to attack now with this Solemn Simulacrum opponent.
People want to know what we think about Vexing Devil.
I think
I
on
have not
Mostly
answered that.
terrible.
Mostly terrible.
Yeah.
That implies that it is minorly not terrible. So what's the minorly part?
If your deck is full of lava spikes, it might be
Yeah.
playable, but
I mean,
that's it.
if you want a lava
This
spike
is
in your
the
deck,
4-3 for 1 where they can take
yeah,
how much damage?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Take 4. That'd be
Well,
technically.
if you want lava spike, and there are some decks that do apparently. Like, isn't there a legacy deck that just plays lava spike straight up?
Yes.
Yeah.
This might be a
Yeah.
somewhat reasonable option in that circumstance.
I wonder, even in that deck, is it a good option? Because don't they have like 8 creature kill spells in their deck most likely, and then you play this one, and you're like, take 4, and they're like, I cast this deck
Yeah,
card.
I mean, it might not be good enough there either, but
Right,
I I think we all sort of have the same opinion. Is there anyone who thinks that card is actively good?
I
Okay,
think that card is like unplayable bad.
okay, all right, very good then. So our opinions range from like unplayable to maybe if you're playing Lava Spike in your main deck.
Yep.
What is Kaleidoscope? That's a good question.
It's a Magic the Gathering online only format that they instituted when they killed some of the older fun formats. They were like, we will let you have fun playing only gold cards, and it has never actually happened in the history of anything. Like it literally has never happened.
Yeah.
And it has no. It's not funny. I'm gonna lose to this terrible desert.
Oh,
What
such a
is the
Cedric.
What is the best way to start playing Moto and go infinite? My opinion on this one is the pauper constructed formats. Like the highest EV formats are the constructed ones, and the lowest barrier to entry format is the pauper one, unless if people play pauper pretty badly. So if you want to start on Moto, I would say, look at the pauper top eights, pauper dailies, 4 decks, look at which ones are doing well and build one of those, and yeah, start playing.
Unless it's mono white.
Yeah.
If it's mono white, find
Don't-
another one.
Probably don't build mono white and don't build blue red post, because that's a really good deck, but you will actually kill yourself before you go infinite, and it's probably undesirable. But the other ones are fine.
I mean, I actually get that question a lot, like on my stream. And I just tell people Pauper and Momer, basically, because constructed is how you make a ton of tickets, like with very little risk, and those are the cheapest ones to get into.
Yeah.
Definitely not limited.
Yeah, just don't draft. Like,
Stay away.
Ever.
as long as you don't draft, I think it's honestly pretty hard to pick a bad format to play on Magic Online. Like, if you really have to play limited, you can just play like the M12 sealed dailies or like even the Innistrad block sealed dailies and like be kind of okay, I think.
I would not play limited.
Well, I mean, I don't personally do them, but if you really feel like limited is where you want to be, I would take daily events over like just ramming 8/4s.
Great. Cedric, what do you think
Sure, I agree with that.
about incorporating Cavern of Souls into ramp? How does the ramp deck change to accommodate Cavern of Souls?
How should the ramp deck change to accommodate that? That's a good question. I really don't want to cut my Glimmer posts because they're really good. Probably can't cut any more basics either. But I don't know, maybe you just cut Glimmer posts to play them, even though that doesn't sound very good. But you probably can't cut any Nexuses or Wolf Runs either.
I've actually thought about this in great detail. You can just board Glimmer Post.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I really like that. I was about to suggest sideboard, and that sounds really cool.
Because, like, so here's the thing about, like, Cavern. It's pretty good in your main deck, but the decks you generally want Cavern verse, that you want Glimmer Post verse, you generally don't want Cavern verse, with the exception of, like, Delver.
Who
Yeah, with
plays
the
that
exception of
thing?
Delver.
But, like, if you want both, it's going to be very, 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 very tough to incorporate both in your main, and you probably shouldn't try.
Yeah, I definitely agree that you can't play both. I don't know, boarding 4 lands seems crazy.
I mean,
if it's right, it's right. I'm not gonna say it's wrong, but
It's hard to-
that's a big step to take.
Right, yeah.
I've been trying it. It's been reasonably good for me so far, but, like, I'm willing to admit that it could be wrong.
Here's a question I have. When is the next standard event, like after Thingamabobber? Like
This
when?
Saturday is SCG Providence, so
Okay.
we'll see some stuff.
And then,
Right.
I know there's a GP because I'm actually supposed to be going to this GP, and like I will actually be there. I'm not certain I will have a deck of Magic the Gathering cards to play with, but I will be at the event.
You can probably get one.
Do you have any suggestions? Because I'm all ears. Like,
Oh, I'm not going to that event, so you can't bum off me. But
okay. Well, it's a nice theory.
I have heard, Adam, that there's a card, the Delver of Secrets,
Well, okay, but I don't own that magic card, so I'm not
We're
sure.
having trouble with supply of Delver of Secrets.
No, I can definitely mail Adam 4 Delvers.
All right,
Are you
excellent.
sure? Wait, Adam has donations for a reason. Viewers, this man and his cat needs 4.
It needs an
Secrets.
entire standard deck. I don't know. I'll try and get a deck from somewhere, but like, the actual standard question stands. Like, it's just there's a Star City this weekend, which includes it, and then is there anything between now and Minneapolis, which is 20 days or so?
I don't think so. Man,
Okay.
Minneapolis is coming up fast. I wish I could go. That tournament's gonna be fun.
Well, I'll let you know if I actually play in the tournament.
Wait, Cedric, are you going?
Alexander Sword will be on Moto in a month.
I don't think if I had to make my decision right now, I can't go. 'Cause I'm in the process of starting a new job. But if I start making money at said new job faster than expected, then I would definitely go. But right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a good fit, which sucks because Minneapolis, is like my third favorite city in the country. So
What are your first two?
San Diego and then Seattle.
So you live in your second favorite city, not your first favorite.
Yeah, I can't afford to live in my first favorite city. It's expensive to live there.
As opposed to Seattle, where it is very cheap to live.
I mean, Seattle's fairly expensive too, but I'm, getting by.
Right.
But San Diego is like double it. It's just ridiculous to live there. You just have to be stone rich or whatever to live in paradise. But we'll be there in soon, 3 or 4 years.
What is the worst blowout that each of us suffered in a cube drafting on Moto? Mine was really lame. Mine is just my opponent upheavaling me. I feel like that's true for most people.
I mean,
Upheaval is a dumb card.
That's what happens when they resolve upheaval. That's correct.
Yeah.
The best is when
I'm
they
trying to think of a one.
The best is when they upheaval you and then play something stupid that still kills you. Like I think
Devoted Druid.
upheaval thieving magpie is my favorite, but like yeah, you can do some dumb stuff. Like I've seen upheaval Moloku is pretty good. They're like, and now this 2/4.
Oh.
Yeah.
And also Baneslayer Angel, which just pissed me off because it's just really bad in cube. So
It was my only creature in one of my blue-white decks because I just didn't get past any good creatures. So I was like, well, this will kill like a mono-red deck. So, yeah.
because I only draft one deck in cube anyway. I always draft blue-green ramp, which here in Seattle we call damp broccoli.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
It's the only thing I ever draft in the cube because it's far and away the best deck if you get it. And so I was just getting it every single cube, and then, mulled to 5 or whatever, draws were bad, and then I got attacked by a Baneslayer Angel for and wanted to kill myself because it's like borderline unplayable in cube. There's my blowout.
Trying to think of something interesting that happened to me.
Well, we should get Adam's opponent on.
Yeah, I Genesis waved it, dude.
Genesis wave. Yeah.
Well, I tried to cast Mind's Desire, and my opponent had literally any Magic the Gathering card. Like, that was a thing, I guess. But, yeah, no. Oh! Sorry, the one time I was mono-red, because people were in the chat, like, really wanting me to draft mono-red because I'm not really sure why mono-red was so popular. Like, I heard Luis did a bunch of articles where he just, like, first picked Ravenous Baboons and killed people with mono-red cards. And that's definitely a thing you can do in Cube. But, like, people in the chat were like, yeah, we got to take these red cards, we got to move in. So I did it one time. Like, I moved in on red, and I had a mono-red deck. And my opponent tinkered for Sundering Titan on, like, turn 3 or something, and I was just like, well, okay, I'm dead. And then game 2, he tinkered for Artifact of Chroma, the one with pro red and pro, like, Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And then he told me after he tinkered, he was like, I sideboarded this one in just for you. And I was like, okay, like, thank you, sir. I am happy that you told me that Sphinx of the Steel Wind was not in your main deck with Tinker, and yeah, that happened to me.
How's that taste?
It tasted bad, man. It tasted real bad.
Oh, okay.
I boarded that in against a red deck without having Tinker in my deck, and then I just hard cast it on turn 7.
Sure,
Oh,
That,
and they
way,
died.
that way works too.
probably good enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Strange.
I don't know. Like, I feel like people just didn't understand how the red deck worked. Like, people really wanted me to move in on red, and then they just wanted me to take like every card that cost 4 or more. And it's like those aren't actually good in the red deck, like because you need to be they need to be dead like by that point, or else they're
Well,
gonna.
it depends on what 5-drop it is.
I mean, kind of, like
I mean, Thunderblast is retarded.
sure, but you can't have like 7 Thunderblusts in your deck.
Sure, because there's only one in the cube.
Okay, but like there are a million Rorixes, and you can't just take every Rorix and be like, now I will be the mightiest dragon wizard. Like it doesn't actually work.
I mean, I agree and disagree. Like, the cards that cost over 4 are fine, depending on which ones they are. I only know this because this is the cube that I draft 3 times a week. We actually have a live copy of it. It's Max McCall's cube, and it's what we're using in a cube competition right now. And one of my teammates drafts mono red exclusively. So
Right.
the cards that cost more, you don't have to be blitz mono red every time.
Well, like, you have a certain number of slots in your deck that can go to those big cards, and, like, yeah, I'm not saying you can't have any of them ever in your deck. I'm just saying, like, they have diminishing returns. Like, the first one is really good. You want to have, like, at least one to cause them to die, but the 7th one is a lot less good. So you can't just
I
take
agree with
every
that.
one that you see.
I would agree with that statement, yes.
Yeah, sorry, like, I didn't mean you can never play a card that costs more than 4. I just mean you can't play all of the cards that cost more than 4.
Sure.
Unless you're like on a different deck completely. Then you're just sort of like a weird red control deck that tries to get him with Rorix.
Michael J. Flores, I believe, is a big fan of that deck.
Yes, Big Red.
Oh, the one where you played top and then you threw the top at them and drew a card, and you just
Yeah.
like
Yes.
you could never get over that interaction. He was like, "But I'm drawing a card," and it was like, "But it doesn't beat anything." But I'm drawing a card. Like,
Adam Ragsdale, you don't understand. The philosophy of fire.
is
Please don't.
the Char's time walk? That's
Please.
okay.
The only person I hate more than Ben Weinberg is Ben Flores, so
All right. We can lay off on that one.
I
Okay.
just, philosophy of fire makes me want to just do the worst things to the worst people.
Wouldn't it be even worse if you wanted to do the worst things to the best people? Like, wouldn't that be objectively lower on the scale?
I know, that would be even worse, but like, I'm trying to be somewhat nice.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
It's just, he's so stupid. He hasn't made a good deck in like 5 years, and it just drives me crazy.
Wait.
My favorite Flores story, if we can. Are we there yet? Yeah, I think we're there.
Yeah, we
I
can
played-
go into this.
I played against him, and I was playing black-white, and he was playing white-red, and it was in the like Tallow-Wisp format, where I was playing Descent of Kiyomaro, which is 3 casting cost, 3/5 lifelink when you have more cards in hand than they do. And I played against him, I thrashed him, because he was playing white-red aggro, and I played these 3/5 lifelink creatures main deck. And afterwards, he was complaining to me, and I was like, "Oh, well, I think your deck's okay." I told him, he told me, "Yeah, I think it's pretty good. We just have trouble in the Heartbeat matchup." And I told him, "Well, me and my friends, we've been playing Hidetsugu's second right against Heartbeat. Hidetsugu's second right, 4 mana, deals 10 damage to them if their life total is exactly 10.
First pick that one in Cube. It's a lot of fun.
And Flores was like, oh, really?" And literally the next Swimming with Sharks column they wrote was about his white-red deck, which had 4 copies. 4 copies of Hidetsugu's second right in it.
I I think that Hidetsugu Second Right is really fun. It's a fun card to play.
Well,
Was
there's
it
no
clear to
discount
everybody
on
that we didn't actually all play that card in White Red? Was that clear to everybody?
Apparently the sound is dying.
Sound is terrible.
That can't be true.
Restart.
Don't believe them.
Restart XSplit now. I really like that spelling of restart because it's, well, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say why.
I mean, I was informed I should mute the sound and unmute the sound, and I did, and now it is apparently better. I don't know. I mean, we're just sort of goofing around now anyway, right? Like, I don't know. Hidetsugu Second Right is a lot of fun. It's a lot less good if they know you have it, because then they have like any Magic the Gathering card and or a pain land and kill you. It's also, I guess it's better now that there's no mana burn. You used to just be able to burn a 9 and then like,
And then embarrass them,
yeah,
which was sweet actually.
yeah.
Healing Leaves, Shock, Hidetsugu Second Right. Take 10.
Okay. You raise a good point.
Oh
Oh,
my
All
god.
right, I don't have to go off on my tangent about how come I hate Flores. That's good. I have to get there.
Hey, Cedric, you said Flores built a good deck 5 years ago. What deck would that
Maybe.
be?
Should all
Maybe
play
that's the
game
last time he
of
built a good
Moto
deck.
Two-Headed Giant. I think that is the best recommendation I've ever heard.
that sounds like a terrible idea. I played like a multiplayer Commander game with a bunch of viewers at one point because I was like, I don't really want to do anything. I'll just goof around. Maybe some people in the chat will like. And it took like 7 hours, and we played like 4 turns or something. It was really bad. Like I don't.
I always just join with my desire and kill everyone on turn 4, mill every single deck, including my partners.
Jarvis, you know your Magic history.
Yeah?
When is the last good deck Flores made?
Flores never built a good deck.
That's not true.
Jarvis, you.
Alright, fine.
Jarvis, you on Michael J. Flores.
Maybe the mono black vampiric tutor deck was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Napster was probably good.
Yeah, didn't he make? Yeah, like the Necro thing was legitimately good, right? Like that was before my time, but I hear a lot of people talk about it, and some of
No,
them
this-
aren't Mike Flores. So
This is not the Necro deck. This is the mono black silver bullet deck.
Yeah, this is like a one parish, one of a bunch of stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, Finkel top-aided Nats with it.
yeah,
Someone in the chat is saying critical mass. From
He did not
Kamigawa
build that
block?
deck. He did not actually build that deck. Some Spanish GP built that deck. He just added a trained Armadon to the deck. That's literally the only thing he did to that deck.
Literally the only thing he did was add trained Armadon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
broke
that's
it.
wonderful.
Someone is saying that Flores made Twin.
No, everyone figured out Twin.
that's like saying someone built
I think everyone
Affinity.
figured out that a 2-card combo was legal and standard.
Yeah,
Killed
Yeah.
him.
like Affinity was actually built in like 20 spots simultaneously because it was the main mechanic of the set. Like the set came and they gave you like a precon, and they were like, now add good cards and you will win. So that's not really.
I went ahead and net decked Affinity, but I'm sure that
And
other
seriously,
people build it.
I don't know the last time he built a good deck, but he always says these things where he's just like, I'm so smart, and writes all these history articles and all of this stuff.
Well, maybe
and
he is
hasn't
so
built a good
smart.
deck in
Had
like
you-
10 years.
Had you considered that? What if he just is so smart?
He's pretty smart. I mean, you didn't let me go into the philosophy of fire stuff, but since he's
Oh,
doing
that's
top
true. I did
plus
not let you do
I
that.
don't know. I mean, I've never met the man in person, so I just know that he said some really mean things about like
He's as arrogant as he writes.
I don't know. I just I remember he was really, really, really mean to like Peebles when Peebles was sort of getting on the Pro Tour and like was doing really well. He was like, "This guy is a jerk and terrible," and it was like, "Who are you? Like, what do you do?" I don't know. I was just sort of offended by proxy about that, but no, I don't know. Never met the dude, so.
Peebles is a pretty hard person to dislike, too.
Yeah, I know. Peebles is awesome.
He's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
He's quite a
That
wizard
makes me
too.
hate that makes me hate Flores even more. I didn't even know that. Ah, thank you. More
Mana.
ammunition.
So you pay 2 mana and a card. You deal them 7 damage.
Wait,
This is
what are we
instant
talking
speed.
about? Is this a trained
Instant speed.
Armadon? Like who? What?
Are we talking about gnarled mass?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty gnarly. Like as masses go.
I love how this article was like, I started with a Zao and Light and Bushi, but
Sal
you
wasn't
see-
even good, so
Is that the
Well,
one mana
yeah,
flip
then
card?
then he arrived at Narvmest, Jarvis. You see.
What is? Okay, I don't know.
Sal is an uncounterable 2/1.
Oh, the 2/1, the 2/1 that's okay, yeah. That
And it
regenerates
regenerates
target
Samurai.
samurai. Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Literally, that deck should not have a Sal or Gnarled Mass in it. It should just have
Jarvis.
more real threats.
Jarvis, you on critical mass.
So I have a funny story about gnarled mass.
Yeah.
So my
Okay.
friends in Ohio, during that block, we played a game called Your Mother Is Blank. And I played it for a long time, but during Kamigawa block, there were a lot of really good ones, like Your Mother Is a Gnarled Mass,
Sure.
or Your Mother Hungers.
What was that?
So
Sorry.
Your Mother Is a He Who Hungers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
So if you ever come across any cards that are good for that now, because it's been about 8 or 9 years since we've played that game, there's a lot of good ones in Kamigawa Block. Kamigawa Block, as hated as it was, has a lot of good functions in real life stuff. Like if you're ordering a pizza and you don't feel like using your real name, you can put the order name under one of the Kamigawa Block legends. Try to do it without laughing.
Alright.
Or like when you go to a restaurant and you have to put your name on a wait list, and you say they ask for your name and you say your name is like Kogama or Moloku or something, and then when they call Moloku for 5, it's pretty humorous.
Right.
It's a good set for some of the things that you wouldn't think it would be used for, because it was god awful for Magic.
I don't know.
What?
Your reference to that pizza thing just makes me think of, like, my introduction to the Pro Tour was, like, I don't even remember who I was talking to. Someone was, like, I went into the actual physical hall the PT was in, at the first PT I was at, which was the only PT because I stopped playing shortly thereafter. But he was like, one of the first things you need to know is you might want to order a pizza to the venue, and if you do that, you need to, like, go to the door, because there are a lot of Magic players in this venue, and like if Magic players see a pizza, there's just like a fucking frenzy, and people will just come take your pizza and like pay the pizza guy, and you will never see it. Like you will never be aware that the pizza had been delivered. And I was like, this is what I was like. This is what I was qualifying for. I was qualifying for guys who will take your pizza. And yes, in fact I was. So.
That's correct. That's 100% correct.
I think that's where I met you for the first time, Said, because you were like sponsoring, you were staking peoples to money draft people
Yeah, buddy, I was.
at that PT. That's the one where peoples beat J. Evan Dean so hard that he actually conceded the draft in game 1 of round 1.
I remember that.
Which
I remember
which
that,
remains
actually.
my favorite Magic the Gathering story of all time. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was fun, but it didn't have the same sort of majesty that I had imagined in my mind, and it had a lot more pizza stealing.
That's fair. That pizza story is really good. I could definitely see someone doing that.
Well, like I saw it happen. Like it was a real thing. It was just like that had never even occurred to me. What did you say?
What PT was this? Was it
Charleston,
maybe?
yeah, Charleston.
I knew it.
Were you the man who ordered the pizza and it never got
Of
there?
course not. Come on. No one's going to touch... You think someone's going to steal my pizza? Are you kidding me? Right now, I'm deep in the tank looking for Your Mother Is from the new set.
From Avison?
There has to be one.
Probably.
Your Mother Is a Banishing Stroke.
Mm,
Nah, it doesn't play well.
yeah, not sold on that. Your mother is a terminus is like okay, but
Your mother is a righteous blow.
that's all right.
Okay.
Midnight Julie.
I'm gonna find one before this is over. I swear.
I'll look
Your
for
mother is a
bottom
geist snatch. I don't like that. Someone put that in the chat. That was actually not that bad. I'm trying not to laugh.
Your two best teammates for the team GP. All right, that seems reasonable. Do you have who are your two ideal teammates? Said.
Well, my two ideal teammates for the Team GP are the two people I'm teaming with. So, last year, when my friend from Maryland, Stephen King, quit Magic, and my other friend, Tommy Ashton, whose name on Moto is Stainerson, perhaps you've seen him, I made a pact at PT Philly that if there was a Team GP or PT ever again, that we were going to team together. So, as soon as they announced it, Steven messaged me begrudgingly and said that he's going to go, we're going to team, whatever. We have a theme for our team. We are going to dress up in Washington Wizards jerseys because they're the worst basketball team in tarnation. And we're going to have afros and jerseys with no shirt under, and it's just going to be the most fun thing of all time. And I have to sit in the middle so that Tommy and Steven don't fight each other during the tournament.
All right, that seems
It
reasonable.
couldn't get better. It could not get better for me.
So the reason Steven quit Magic was he lost in the finals of like 5 PTQs or something that season.
It was four PTQs that season with Jun.
Yeah, he was real upset.
Oh, and you wouldn't be?
I would be too.
All right.
I wasn't saying it's bad or anything, but like he just lost the fire after that.
Yeah, that may have killed it for me too.
I don't know who my ideal teammates were. I know I played a two-headed giant GP with Slurch, and I had a lot of fun.
Who's Slurch?
Charles Starling.
Yeah, Charles Starling.
Inventor of Armadillo Cloak and Phantom Centaur.
Are you sure Flores didn't come up with that?
No, I think
No.
we've got the lockdown on bad decks with Talawisp in them. I don't think he can possibly.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, it was we had a lot of really fun experiences. Like our opponent played Pyrrhemia, which is a card which actually just ends the game instantly in two-headed giant, and then they didn't kill us for like
Okay.
7 turns. So we were having these conversations like, do you think like do you think that they're going to cause us to die? And they just they just wouldn't. And then we actually we got to a point where we were just laughing uncontrollably whenever they did anything. Because they were just, they would stop on our end step and they'd be like, ping you with pirate ship. And we'd be like, 27. and then they'd go to their turn. And then afterwards, one of the guys asked, this was like the match for day 2, I think it was, and they just murdered us. We were stone dead. And they were like, why were you laughing? And we just had no answer. We were like, we heard a really funny joke right in the middle of the match and couldn't get it out of our heads. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't know. I also played at a team PT with a couple guys, and they were really sweet. So I don't know. Could get them, but I don't know. I had the most fun with Charles, I think.
Who'd you play with in Charleston?
Duncan McGregor and
Scott?
Bill Nielsen.
Oh,
I met Duncan once. He's a good guy.
I haven't seen Duncan in so long. Does he still exist?
He still exists.
He occasionally plays Moto.
He does not play Magic competitively, as I understand it. He's more of a board game type of guy, I believe, at this current juncture.
Yep.
I don't
Okay.
think we have anything better than your mother is a righteous blow. I'm gonna say it right now. My team GP experience was with legendary forum troll Estelle, and another Robert who we were Team Savage Beets, and we bought beets at the grocery store before the tournament and carved faces in them, and they were all mascots. And it was good times. They weren't very good partners. I built all 3 decks, and then they lost with theirs every single round, I think.
Okay.
I wouldn't choose them again, but I think I might go with Savage Beets with the grocery store purchasing.
I think I'll be at this Team GP. I only have one teammate right now, and it's Nicholas G. Lim.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
oh, you have Nick Lynn?
yeah. Cedric
Shit.
defeated him in Kyoto, I believe.
I destroyed him.
Where is
Yeah.
this GP, Jarvis?
It's on the West Coast, right? Like San Jose.
San
Yeah,
Jose.
San Jose.
I've been to a GP there before, so I have experience in that area.
This
I can
sounds
tell
like a
you-
weird place. Oh, that's in California? Oh, shit.
I can tell you it is a long bus ride from Toronto.
You could take an
I believe
airplane you could link with.
No, he doesn't have any money.
I gotta.
Let's go to the tournament. Jesus God.
Well, I probably
Bus
won't.
fare?
It was actually
Let
pretty cheap.
me know if you still need a third later on, Jarvis.
We'll probably find someone.
No guarantees.
Thanks, Jarvis.
That's what
Thanks,
you
Jarvis.
get.
Jarvis, I'm still really good at Magic. I'm just drunk right now.
So we
Drunk
could have
on
a
root beer, right? Root beer.
yeah, drunk off root beer.
Classic root beers.
Sugar
All right.
is a lot like ethanol, except
Are we done? I feel like we're done.
I think
Is
we're
it
done.
over?
Well, it's been not over for quite a while.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get dinner. Should I get Chipotle or chicken teriyaki?
Chicken teriyaki, not close.
I vote chicken teriyaki.
I'm there with you guys.
You guys all chicken teriyaki immediately? Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Why?
Chipotle
Is there an
is
explanation
like
for your? Is there an explanation for your reasoning?
Chipotle is McDonald's, except it's Mexican.
McDonald's does not own Chipotle and hasn't for 5 years.
But it's like McDonald's, which is Mexican. This has no bearing on
Well,
Mexican
the
ways.
chat wants you to go to Chipotle, so maybe you should do that. I don't actually have any knowledge. I just thought the chicken teriyaki sounded good, so I don't feel strongly towards either position. The chat like really strongly wants you to go to Chipotle, I think. So maybe that's actually a better option.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have them
Oh,
in the
can't believe you
booth
How
making
could
the
you
call.
possibly compare Chipotle to McDonald's? That's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
Didn't? I think I've only
I
eaten.
stand by the comparison.
I think I've only eaten with you in one place, and I think that was a Cheesecake Factory. Said
That place
so.
fucking blows.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory is not good.
It's one of the worst
Factory
restaurants
is
I've ever been
It's
to.
like a McDonald's
It was-
mixed with cheesecake.
It was in Indy, right? Indianapolis, I think.
I don't feel like I would eat at the Cheesecake Factory in Indy, but there's a chance I did.
It might not have been there. It might have been somewhere else. I'm fairly certain it was you, and I think GT was there. And I'm pretty sure it was.
I feel like I remember this.
It
but
was a Cheesecake Factory, and I don't remember where it was. But
It definitely wasn't in downtown Indy. I think it was a suburb because we
Yeah.
were bored.
yeah.
But like, yeah, it wasn't for a tournament. It was when you were there hanging out.
Okay, that's possible.
Yeah, the Cheesecake Factory is the worst restaurant. I'd rather eat McDonald's. I said it.
Okay.
I meant it too.
That's effectively saying that you'd rather eat fries than cheesecake.
I went to a Cheesecake Factory because I'd never been to a Cheesecake Factory, and I really like cheesecake. And it turns out those things are not really related, like cheesecake and the Cheesecake Factory, which is weird. But
No, the Cheesecake Factory is more like actually just a factory. There's-
Yeah, it's just a
that's the
factory
more
of food.
important word, yeah.
They just pump out mediocre food. That's all they do. And they charge you a lot of money for it.
Yep. Right
hard.
there with you.
All
So
right,
I
I
sort of
think
want
it's
to talk
over.
about streaming, but we can just go instead. That's fine too.
I'm gonna go eat some Chipotle right now. You guys
Go
are
away,
stupid.
Cedric.
all right, see you guys later.
Go
Thanks
away.
for being around.
Okay, love you.
We're,
Bye.
we're this way. Steven, Adam, God, Jarvis, Cedric. Bye, guys.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Alrighty, let me do the business. We're back. Oh God, someone's talking to me. I will talk to this person later. Alright, so now I need to determine what exactly is happening because the podcast, which sort of stretched out into, I feel like, sort of 45 minutes of not really doing anything because nothing happened in Magic this week, has come to its blissful conclusion. What am I going to do? Meh. My cat has ideas. I'm not really sure. There's not really much going on. I don't know. I could do like a couple games of Standard or something like that, but there don't appear to be any scheduled events that are particularly exciting. There's an M12 sealed, a Standard at midnight. There isn't like a Pauper or a Standard or a Momer or anything of any note. There was a Standard at 9, which I guess I could have started playing, but I didn't really want to queue while playing. Yeah, like I said, I mean, we're sort of at a point where nothing really matters. Anyone can see. In terms of things you can do on Moto, like Standard without Avacyn Restored is not really a thing. It's basically just Moto only format. So yes, meow, meow. Is Construction Steve here? I know Construction Steve like wanted me to draft really, really bad. So if Construction Steve like wants me to burn his money, that's probably a thing I can do. Let me update the business. Meow. Oh yeah, I can put that business back on. Bandit is, I assure you, Bandit has been here the whole time. Just because you cannot see him does not mean that he does not exist. Meow. Okay. I don't know. Play one of these businesses. Sure. I hope you're playing guys. Hmm. Aha! Monster status located. So now I need to determine if I'm fetching like a plains, a swamp, or an island. Almost all of which are somewhat reasonable options. Island is sort of the obvious choice. It lets me cast all of the things. It does not, however, let me play this untapped, which is going to make my response somewhat delayed. Oh, yeah, you probably don't want to hear this. Okay. Sorry, I just resumed that wherever I had it stopped randomly and forgot that my sound was still on. Which was apparently midway through the fragile. The left side. My bad. I think we're getting island, probably. Yeah, that's fine. Bam! Get ya! Oh man, there's more. There's more dead weights where that came from, good sir. Man, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to sack the spell bomb without actually drawing a card. Which is a little bit saddening. Noted. Did it. Got there. Yeah, we probably want to main phase this. Like that? Yeah, that's fine. I could main phase this draw. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Meh. Meh. I'm sorry, I have to play irrelevant Magic formats. Ah, you still had all these things. Into the circle with you. Yeah, I could have responded to his next zombie, but then I couldn't have played a land that came into play tapped if I drew it, like a Shores or a Seachrome Coast. I don't think he can ever have Mind Rot here. Yes, sir. Aha. Uh-huh. Forbidden Alchemy status located. God, I hope he doesn't Night Terrors me. What an unbelievable blowout that would be. What is he gonna do here? He could kill my monster. I'm trying to decide if I want to get Nihil Spellbomb. Probably do. Just like land this guy with Black Up, go. I mean, I could kill this, but like, you could make 2 Sun Titans, I guess. That would be somewhat bad, because I'd only be able to kill one of them. Goodness. He is threatening to obliterate me. I took Sun Titan over Souls because I think 1 Sun Titan is better than 1 Souls. I don't really want to attack, probably. I mean, I could. Kill this. Sack like this, this, and 2 lands. Okay, that seems reasonable. So I should probably alchemy then? This probably? Flashback cards. They certainly are. Yeah, I mean, blocking, like, I'm gonna have to block on my turn, so. Sure. You may go, sir. Sure. Okay. I don't even think I need to Wrath here. I think I just kill his Sun Titan. Make some souls. Say go. I guess I might as well Wrath, actually. Okay. Or that. Very good then. It shall be as you say. Sure. My god, look at all these Sun Titans he has. Very many. Curses. Foiled. Sure, kill something. I don't care. I just wanted this thing back, because this thing is the sweetest card in my deck. Yeah, whatever. Kill this. Oh, curses. Oh, look, a triangle. It was on my head. Man, in a car. This is the best day. It doesn't really matter what I play. Let's do this, I think. Give me my delicious Nihil Spellbomb back. Because I'll be goddamned if someone will be doing graveyard shenanigans against me. I don't know, he's been dead for like so many turns, yeah, sure. Like, he is not aware of his level of deadness currently, but he is pretty dead. I guess I'll go to land this time. This one. Should have probably got Evolving Wilds there. Like, I could have sacked and then gotten it back. But like as I said, he is very much many deads. Acceptable. You have gone for his throat. Ate ya. Very good then. So this is the first time I think I've ever played against Zomboars with this deck. Okay, I'm going to run ad number 1 of the day, I think, while I sideboard. So, here comes. I don't know what I want to do. Like this probably. Are we back? We're back. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I have too many good cards here. Maybe I don't even need the 4th day against them. Like, I'm pretty excited for this car. Car is like, that's true. I suppose we could. I mean, these things are alright, but like, maybe we just rather have this than that. That seems like a not totally unreasonable submission. Reasonable. Hurt? Karn them. I wonder if Karn actually kills them. Yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, I do like me some Karn. Sure. He's crawling me. Man, is this some, like, delicious mana leak action that's occurring here? I mean, I suppose I could be more upset. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Not cast my spell? Doesn't seem like a thing I would do. Ah, shit. He certainly did go for the throat of my business. Oh, he's crawling in the graves. The gravest of crawling.